Hi Display Week. Welcome to Movie Night with Nanosys, the quantum dot company. I'm Jeff Urich, Director of Marketing at Nanosys, and I hope you've had a great first day at this year's virtual Display Week event. Now it's time to unwind with a little bit of color gamut analysis and a great movie. I've been conducting some research on the use of BT.2020 colors in Ultra HD HDR movies. Each night this week, I'll be posting a new recommendation for a film that features a significant amount of visible BT.2020 color, along with some analysis and my favorite scenes. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and tune back in for future episodes. We'll have some great films in store for you this week. Now, on to the feature. Tonight, we're taking a look at The Matrix, a sci-fi action classic from 1999 starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Carrie-Anne Moss. Winner of 4 Oscars, including Best Visual Effects, The Matrix broke new ground with incredible time-stopping visuals. In fact, the opening action sequence was so complex that it supposedly took 6 months to choreograph and shoot. Also pretty amazing that all of this was captured using 35mm film. The film makes interesting use of color to move the story forward as well. For example, all scenes that are inside the Matrix have a kind of a greenish cast and very low blue content. This is designed to make viewers feel as if they're watching the movie through a CRT computer monitor. Appropriate for 1999, but maybe a little old-fashioned for a modern Display Week audience especially. Well, let's take a closer look at the analysis. So when I'm analyzing a piece of HDR content, I always start by checking the available metadata. The Matrix is especially interesting for our series because the metadata tells us that the film was mastered for the BT.2020 color gamut specifically. Now, 100% BT.2020 color gamut monitors are not available today. So what does this metadata mean in practice? Well, we have to ask the filmmakers to know for sure, but it's possible that they use the full native gamut of their mastering monitor, which can be significantly more than P3, or that they involved a laser projector in their workflow, or they simply are using the BT.2020 as a container for a smaller gamut. Metadata is really only part of the story. It does not tell us if any pixels in the movie are truly BT.2020. And for our purposes, that means they're falling outside the DCI-P3 color gamut. In fact, in our research, we came across 1 or 2 examples of BT.2020 films that contained only Rec. 709 colors. So really, it's only a small part of the picture when you're looking at the metadata. To find out if the Matrix is genuine BT.2020, we used a pre-release version of FF Pictures HDR Master 8K software with some fantastic new color analysis tools to take a closer look. Here, we're looking at a plot of the peak color saturation of every frame in the movie. Now, The Matrix is over 2 hours long, so there are nearly 200,000 frames here. The average peak saturation across those 200,000 frames is 122% of DCI-P3. The highest saturation of any frame in the film is an eye-popping 222% of DCI-P3. Now, you may also notice that many frames seem to peak around 150% of DCI-P3. Well, 150% of DCI-P3 is equal to 100% of BT.2020 green. So basically, they're pushing the color all the way into the corner of the BT.2020 gamut. So remember that anecdote from the beginning about the green cast found in scenes when the characters are inside the Matrix? Well, there you go. So those are some serious high scores. But what do they really mean? Are they really colors we can see, or are they just kind of like encoding errors or near black shadows? Things we don't really perceive as a color. Well, to control for that, I filtered the pixels by luminance. So what we're looking at here are only pixels from 1 to 100 nits in luminance. This assures that we're only considering colors at the heart of the visible range, ignoring wild highlights and dark shadows. So let's take a look at a real scene together to get a feel for what this means in the actual content. Now, The Matrix is loaded with great examples of BT.2020 colors from the beginning to the end, literally. So I realize this movie is 20 years old, but I will be showing some clips from throughout the movie. So please consider this to be your spoiler alert. Let's start with the opening sequence, which takes us into the Matrix through an old-fashioned CRT monitor. Kind of start out with this blinking cursor, and you're seeing this green text. And if you look at the CIE chart, it's really way out there in the corner. Now I'm moving this red overlay over the content here, and the red pixels are false color gamut warning. Now these pixels are over 125% of DCI-P3, And they're also falling into that 1 to 100 nit luminance range we talked about. So again, truly a wide gamut and truly visible colors.
Yeah, of course I'm sure. I better go.
So next, I'd like to highlight one of the famous time-stopping shots from the middle of the movie. Here the characters are inside the matrix and you can really see the intensity of the green cyan colors, especially on the buildings in the background behind Neo there.
Help!
Finally, my favorite scene for color in the Matrix occurs near the end of the movie, about 2 hours and 3 minutes in. In this scene, the ship is under attack and Carrie-Anne Moss's character Trinity is waking Neo up with a kiss. It's a pretty dramatic moment and worthy of some intense color, especially like the deep purples from the laser that's cutting through the ship there. Okay, so that's enough geeking out for now. Please put down your phone, close your laptop, and relax and enjoy the show. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening with another great film.